Okay, so the recording is on. Okay. So what is root? Root is a name of the administrator. Did I talk that? I didn't document that yet. Good. So root. By the way, most of the commands in Linux is going to be all lowercase. Okay. There is a so if you are typing it uppercase, then there may be some exceptions here. Okay, but most of the commands you're going to type in this dark window is going to be Linux, and I'm sorry, it's going to be lowercase. Okay, so what is root? Root is a administrator. Okay, and that means it's a super user. Okay, and so the root cannot be renamed. Root name cannot be renamed. So if you think you want to rename root as administrator, you can do that. Okay, and I would say never share password. And don't even put the password. General rule of thumb is, even in any corporation, you can't just share the password in an email or text anybody, anything like that. Okay, so you just don't share it. Okay, so now there is another thing called /root. Okay, so everybody go ahead and type pwd there, pwd, and hit enter. Okay, so I'll talk about what WD means, but let's talk about root. /root, you see /root here. This is, what does this mean? /root is uh, this is a root user home directory. So this is a landing space of root user. So when I say landing space, this is the desktop. This is a desktop for the user. When you log in with your user ID, you would get the environment, right? This is the environment for the root user. Okay, and there is another directory called just /. A /, this is also means root. This is also is root. /root is home directory. Just a / is root. This is called a root directory. So there are three things in Linux which is called uh, root. One is what is for first one? Very first one is root. That means an administrator, and then root slash root is root user home directory, and just root directory means it's a uh, it's a root directory. I'll show you what it means here. Okay, so this is the topmost directory here. This is the topmost directories. Underneath we have other directories there. What is directory? This is a folder. This is where the operating system begins. Okay, so let me put that picture in here. So this is what it's called so let me grab it the other way here. So this is a root directory, okay? Okay, so I would just want to make sure that is you know that before we continue on. So let's go ahead and continue here. So I'm going to say files and folders. Files and folders. So what we have in Linux is folder files. Everything in Linux is considered a file. Okay, so when I say a file, folder, directory, when I say directory, this means a folder. Okay, and then when I say file, that means it's a file. File is a blank text file in itself. Okay, so what this does is, and then there is one more thing you need to know is Linux handles files and folders or directories as same. Okay, so both are considered files. Both are considered files. So in Linux, if somebody say what is the file name, it could be the folder or a file here. Okay, so the way the Linux is handling the files and directories is same as how it handles the file. Okay, don't get confused with this. There's a lot of things we're gonna learn. Then it will become a clear picture of what I'm talking about. Okay, so you just beginning to start here. Okay, good. So now let's go ahead and start the basic commands here. You guys could follow along with me. Okay, so let me put this here. Okay. Okay. So the very first command, we may end up typing some commands here, but the very first command I'm going to ask you to do is type clear, CLEAR. What it does is it clears the screen. Okay. All lowercase. Clears the screen. Okay. All right, good. Now the next command is PWD. PWD. Okay, what is PWD? Let's type PWD. PWD. And it's giving us /root. So, what does PWD stands for? It stands for present working directory. If you type PWD, this will give you the information here. It will tell you what directory you are in right now. Okay. So that should be self-explanatory. Okay, and then let's talk about input. So whatever we're gonna type here on the command line is considered input. So if I type PWD, a clear, whatever I'm doing here is called input. Okay, so if I type PWD and hit enter, this is input and the result is output. Okay. So anything you put at CLI, command line interface, is considered input. Okay. All right, good. Now output. What is output? The result of the input command is output. So you type PWD, you type PWD here, right? And what is the output? Output is the result. Whatever the result is, PW. Excuse me. It's giving you the result is output, whatever is displayed on the screen. Okay. Okay, good. Now we're gonna learn the CD command. If you type CD and hit the / once, okay, and hit enter. Now you take a look here. When you see a tilde, that means this is your home directory. And if you just type a CD /, then the directory has changed and it's telling you you are in / directory. Okay, so this directory is root. So we change the directory. Okay, remember all these commands are lowercase. If it's going to change itself in uppercase, then this is just a Word document. It's auto correcting it, but good idea is assume everything is lowercase. Okay. This is change directory. Okay, and let me make the size bigger. So if I type cd, if I type the command cd and a slash, what it does it changes the directory to, it changes the directory here. And then here you could type pwd, it will tell you what directory you are in. You are in just a single directory, which is just slash. Okay, and the way you know which directory you are in is this part here. Slash, it will tell you, well, furthermore we're going to go into other directories that way you could see what directories you are in. Okay, so now this is, you are in root directory. Okay, now let's go ahead and learn another command. Let's clear it, type clear there. So another command is, now go ahead and type just cd, nothing else. What it does is, simply typing cd, it will bring you back to your home directory. Okay, so let me put that here. Okay, and if you type pwd, you could see this is a root. This is because we are a root user. This is our home directory. And how do you know this is your home directory? You see a tilde there. Okay, you see a tilde, a squiggly, little squiggly. It's called tilde. That means you are into your own user home directory. If you are a root user, that's your home directory. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? Okay. So now I want to see what's inside this directory. What are the contents of the directory? I type simply ls. Okay, so there is a system generated file in here. It's called Anaconda. Don't worry about it. So right now there is a file sitting in this your home directory. It's like a file sitting on your desktop, and this file is simply called Anaconda here. So this is a system generated file. So let me type ls. Okay, so this stands for this command list the content of the directory, content of the directory. This command lists the content of the directory you are in. So whichever directory you are in, it will list you the content. Okay. Okay, now next command is ls-l. What is this going to do is, this command will give you more detailed information. ls-l, and it gives you the more detailed information about this directory here. Don't worry about what this means. We'll study what it means later on. But you see the file name here. and this is the date when this was created, and then this is the inode number. We'll talk about that. No, we'll talk about all this here, but just when you type ls-l, it will give you the detailed information of a directory. Long list information of the contents. Okay, so you could also say detailed information. Okay, so I want to pause a minute here and I want to see if all these things are making any sense. Anybody? Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, good.
No, seems okay. Thank you.
Good, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, now we want to see hidden files here. There are some hidden files in the system. Okay, so it will not show here with this regular command. So if you want to see the hidden commands, hidden files, you type ls-a. Okay, ls-a, what this shows you is the hidden files here. Okay, now we have so many files in here. This is the only file we saw with the regular command, but we have file 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 hidden files in here. Okay, so the command is ls-a. It will show you the hidden files. Shows you the hidden file. Hidden shows you the list of files and folders, hidden or not. Okay, here it also shows the folder here too. You know what, let's keep this simple here. List the content of the directory. Shows you the content of the directory. And plus hidden files. Hidden files. Okay, so it showed us the content of the files, including the hidden files. Shows you the content of the directory, including hidden files. Okay, so now this is the output here. Okay, and hidden files are represented by a period. Hidden files are represented by a period. Has period as a prefix. Hidden files has prefix in the name. Hidden files has period. Uh, period okay, so if you look closely, this file doesn't start with a period, so this is not a hidden file. But similarly, if you see this here, everything else which is starting here is, it has a period. That means those are hidden files. I'm going to clear it. So now what we're going to do is, I'm going to do ls-la. I'm going to see the long list. At the same time, I'm going to see the hidden files also. We'll see how this works, okay? Type ls-la and hit enter. Okay, now it's giving you lot of information here. Okay, so now it's give you when was this file created and all that. So we're not worried about that now, but you just see here a file starting with a period. It gives you more information here. And here there is a file, just a simple dot and two dots. So I'll talk you about what dots and two dot means. Okay, so but let me see here. This will provide okay, this will provide the long list with hidden files. So these are all the hidden files here, okay? All right, good. Now, if you want to see what commands you have typed, type clear and type history and hit enter. So what Linux does is it will keep track of all the commands you've been typing here. So yesterday I typed IP-A clear. So it gives you all the numbers here, right? So history, what does is it creates a display the history of commands you've been using. Okay, so let me just type this here. Okay, so now if you want to run like one specific command here, if you want to run this command here and you don't want to type it here, so what you could do is you could simply type the exclamation, and what was the command there? So it will run this command for you, number 3, exclamation number 3, and hit enter. So now you see it ran that command for you from the history, and it changed the directory, and you are into the network scripts directory. Okay, All right, so let me. So to run the command from history without typing the full command. Okay, so what you got to do is you got to type exclamation and 3. It will do it for you. And look here, it puts you into this working directory here. And if you type, okay, so now let me run a command here. I want to clear the screen here, so I could do exclamation 8. It will clear it for me. Exclamation 8. See, it clears the screen for me because number 8 was clearing the screen. Okay, so just simply type cd so that we come back to our home directory. So I'm back to my home directory, cd. Okay, everybody with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now what you could do is you could run multiple commands simultaneously. So you can run commands simultaneously. Okay, to do that you have to put a colon between the commands here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do ls -l, and the moment you put the semicolon there, what will happen is a new command will start, and then I'm going to do pwd. Okay, and then I'm going to run the command. What was the command we ran? So I could do another command here, ls -l la, and what else? And then okay, let's just run 3 commands here. Okay, hit enter. So what happened is it ran the command ls -l, and this is the output for ls -l command. Okay, and then pwd, present working directory, this is the command, and then ls -la, this is the command, and this is the output here. Okay, so you could build up a lot of commands together and run it for you. This is called shell script. Okay, this is called a shell script. Okay, so commands together makes it a shell script. Okay, so script is what? it will kind of automate stuff here. We will go into deep dive into scripting later, but you could get a taste here, right? Oh, okay, you run one line and it's doing a lot of stuff for you, okay? So let's see here. Putting multiple, make it a script here simultaneously using a semicolon. Okay, good. So now the next command is echo, ECHO. And when you hit enter, it gives you the space there, right? Nothing happened. Echo means followed by echo is nothing, so there is nothing comes up, so it gives you a blank screen. Okay, so echo command, you can echo command repeats echo command output so if you simply type echo, the output will be what you type followed by echo. So if you don't type anything, the output is blank, but it creates a blank line. Okay, so if I type echo Linux, it tells you Linux. Okay, and then say echo Linux course, it tells you echo Linux course here. So it's gonna repeat this part, okay? All right, good. Okay, so let's see here what else. CD command. Okay. So I'm going to clear the screen now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a very first file. Okay? By the way, here, if you want to have if you want to see a better here, in each line, what you could do is you could type echo and a semicolon here, and then followed by echo, a semicolon here. What it's going to do is it will kind of give spaces here, okay? It gave the spaces. The output is much cleaner.
So echo is basically a space.
Yeah, space or whatever you do. Yeah, whatever you put after echo.
Okay.
So I'm going to put it here so that it's a good flow through. Like here, let me type this in here. So the output is much cleaner here, okay? You could definitely play around with it. You know, what you could do is, clear it, and then you could bring this. Okay, by the way, using up and down arrow keys scrolls up and down your history. So you do this echo. Then you could do this here. Put some dashes here. And echo, and then you put some dashes here. What I'll do is it will make it nicer here. There you go. It will look nicer. You could also put some text in here, and you could put, you know, whatever you want to do it. You could see it much better here, okay? So the more you learn it, you will get a good grasp of what is happening here. So actually, let me copy this here. Okay, let me clear this. All right, let's create a file. So I'm going to create a file name Linux. So we do ls here, the file is already there, right? Now I'm going to create a file. How to create a file? You just type touch, touch, touch commands. It will create a file for you. Touch and name of the file. You want to name that file. So I'm going to say touch file1. Okay? And I hit enter. So if you don't get an error message, that means the file has been created. If you do ls, the file is created here. Okay? Okay, so now let's create a hidden file. Touch, then start with a period, and then file2. Okay? And hit enter. If you do regular ls, you won't see it because it's a hidden file. If you do ls-a, then you will see the hidden file in there. Right there is 2. It is bringing the other files at the same time, okay?
So you can use the touch command in any directory to create a file?
Yes, sir. So create a file here, you do touch, then a hidden. Okay. Now we see this as a hidden file here, right? Where is it showing here? ls-a file2, right? This was hidden file. And ls-l, this is file1. Okay, all right, good. Now, if you want to see the details of this file here, of course, you could type ls-l, and you could see here that this was created August 2nd, and the timestamp and size, there's no size in there, and the ownership and all that. So we'll go more into that here. I don't want to confuse you on the first day here, but this is how it is. So let me clear this. Now what you could do is you could create multiple files also. Touch, we could create file 1, file 2, file 3, and hit enter. Okay, if I do ls, the file 1 and 2 is there, file 3. So if the file is already there, it won't overwrite it, it'll just create it once again. Okay, so the existing file earlier, if you look at the file here, it was at 1302, now it's 1305, so it will overwrite the existing file here. So you got to be careful how you use this.
A quick question, sir.
Yeah.
So we can make at the same time hidden and visible files with touch, right? Multiple files.
In hidden files, yeah, I'm coming to there.
Hidden and visible, both like in the
Yeah.
same command. We can go.
Why not?
Or
All you
thank
have
you.
to do is put a dot and file 4. Okay?
Right,
So
sir.
if you do
Thank you.
ls, so if you do ls, the file 4 is not going to show. ls-a, now the file 4 is showing with the dot in front of it. Where is this file? Right there. Okay? Create multiple files, and let me see here. Create a hidden file also. Okay, so this is, I think you guys got an idea here. So let me clear this here. I'm going to say file, touch, I'm going to say hidden, file 6, hidden, file 7. Okay, then hidden, file 5. Okay, and I do ls-a, and you see the files in there, right? So let me just put this as an official explanation. So it created these files here, and the file 5, and then file 7. These are hidden files it created. Okay, now we created the files, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a directory. Okay, so let me clear this. You do ls. So I'm gonna do, what is the command to create a directory? mkdir. Okay, and then I'm gonna give the name, the directory Linux 1. Okay, you could do it a single directory, or you could do multiple directories. Linux 2, Linux 3, and you do ls hyphen L. If you do ls, now you see the directories are in color here. The moment you see it is in color, it's possible this is a directory, a folder. ls hyphen LA. Let's do a here ls hyphen. Let's do a hidden directory too. mkdir hidden Linux 4. Okay, so now you won't see it. For that you have to do ls hyphen A. Or this is getting too crazy here. Let me just clear this. ls hyphen LA. Let's do just A only. So let's see here. So touch mkdir Linux 1. mkdir Linux 2 and 3. And then we did a hidden directory also, right? So this is a hidden directory. So I kind of don't like this here. Give me 1 second here. mkdir Linux. Linux 4, Linux 2. Okay, now you see here the directories has been created here. So I'm going to put a note here. Directories have color. Is it showing blue color for you guys? What about the Linux, the Mac people? Is the directory shows in blue or?
Yes, it's showing.
Okay. Okay, so directories have color here. Now, one other thing with the directory is, if you do ls-l, the directories, it will show a little D here, okay? The directory will show a D in there. Okay, so these are directories. Okay, so why is it directories here? You see a little D in there. The little D is, it will a good indication that it's a directory. Okay, and let's see here. So now what we could do is, since we are touching up on directory, you could have a folder inside a folder, right? So let's go ahead and create one. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, so we'll do making creating a directory inside directory. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna pick one directory here, Linux, okay? I'm gonna say mkdir -p. Okay, so P stands for, so when you pass -p, what will happen is, it will look in there and see if the directory is there. It will not create it, but if the directory is not there, it will create one for you. Okay, so then type Linux. By the way, you could type, if the name is a little bit longer here, what you could do is you could type the name partial name here and push a tab key on it. Okay, I type LIN and I push a tab key. Now if you push a tab key again, then it will give you more options here. You have Linux 1, 2, 3, which one? So you could tap 1 and tab it again. And then in the Linux 1, I'm going to create Red Hat, directory name Red Hat, okay? In there, I'm going to create another directory called, what should I call this here? CentOS. CentOS. So what's happening here is, this command, when you pass -p there, it will see if the directory is there or not. If the directory is not there, it will create one. If it's there, it will skip it. Now -p also tells the create this directory inside this directory. So we are typing / in there. Okay. So I'm going to hit enter. So what happened now is, if I type ls, the directory is there. So what do I have to do? I have to go into that directory. So how do I go into the directory? cd command, change directory, and then I'm going to type Linux 1 and hit enter. Now you notice we are in Linux 1 here. If you type pwd here, it will give you the path. This is the path here. So the original directory we were in root, and this directory is inside. The directory we are in is inside root, and root is inside /root. Okay, and then I'm gonna see what else in there. So I type ls, then I type cd red hat, and I go in the directory, and I go cd, and I push a tab because there is no other option. I hit enter. Now what I do is type pwd. So my present working directory is, this is the path of my present working directory. What is this? This is called an absolute path here. So I'm going to explain that separately, but let's just copy this up here. Yeah, go ahead. Creating directory inside a directory.
Excuse me, Zafar.
Yeah.
What happens if you accidentally put a space between a Linux and a 1, and then now it says that I'm in a different directory called just Linux? How do you go back so I can go into the Linux 1 directory?
Okay, let me clear this. And let me type ls. So you type something like this here, right? You type
Yeah, I
something like
typed in
this.
CD Linux, but there was no, it was before that step. It was, instead of the Red Hat CentOS, it was CD space Linux space 1. It wasn't Linux 1. It was, there was a space between the 1 and Linux.
So it will create another did you create a directory like that?
No, I didn't. It opened it up. Now it says root localhost Linux. It doesn't say Linux 1.
Type pwd.
Okay, PWD. Okay.
Where are you?
It still says it root at localhost Linux, or it says /root and then /Linux.
Aha, yeah, you are in there. You are in the
Okay.
directory
Okay.
called Linux. But you
Okay, but
created
it doesn't
Linux.
matter if it's 1.
Doesn't matter. I mean, you're just naming it. You're just picking the name. It's an
Okay.
open
Okay.
name.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay. So creating a directory inside a directory. So you create this. So the command, this is the command. Um, this will check for existing directory and create one. Okay, it will check for the existing directory and create if it's not already there. cd into Linux, pwd, and ls red hat, cd red hat, cd CentOS, and this is pwd. Okay, now what you do is pwd, right? As I mentioned earlier, this is your home directory. Okay, no matter where you add, if you simply type cd and hit enter, and if you type pwd, you will jump back to your home directory. Okay, so here if you type cd Okay, now see how this is complicated here. Oh, you said, okay, I shouldn't have come back here. I want to go back into the previous working directory. So what you do is type cd space hyphen. It will put you back into the previous working directory, okay? cd space hyphen cd space hyphen. So what it does is it will put you back into the previous working directory. Okay, so now if I want to just go back, who's calling me? If I simply want to go one directory up, I don't want to go to the CentOS, I don't want to go to the root all the way, I want to go back to just Red Hat, right? So what do I do? What do I do is type cd two dots. Okay, let's see here. You do ls hyphen ls, there is nothing in there, right? But any directory in Linux will have two hidden files in there or folders. This is one dot and two dot. So a single dot means the present working directory and two dot means the previous working directory. Okay. So if you type cd and the period, let's do pwd. If you type cd then a period, by the way, you do ls hyphen l la. These two dots are actually, these two dot and a single two dots are actually directories, okay? A dot, it means a present working directory. And it's hidden. Okay, and two dot means two dots. It's harder to see when I'm typing here, but remember, two dot means previous working directory. Okay, and it's hidden too. So let's see here. I'm going to clear this. I'm going to type pwd and I type ls hyphen la. So if I type cd so this is a directory, right? This is also in itself a directory. Okay, so if I type cd and a dot, I'll stay in the same directory, okay? Because I don't, even though it changed, it didn't give me error message. I stayed where I was. Okay? cd dot, you stays in the same place. All right, who doesn't like Linux so far? So I take it everybody likes it, right?
Yeah, Linux, alright.
Okay, man. Once you're done with the course, you're gonna go crazy. What is Windows doing here?
As long as Linux pays what it pays.
You could do your own research here. It automatically pays 30% more here. But I'm teaching you this here. I'm not just teaching you the commands and all that. I'm putting you into engineering place. And let me show you my previous one of the other class I have here. Other class I have is. So these are all the topics here. These are lot of stuff coming in. Just stay put, don't quit. All this LVM, all this is like putting you. By the time you're done here, you will become an engineer, and this will pay you a minimum least amount is $50 an hour. I'm telling you, don't quit on me, but just stay put. It may be a little bit challenging, but if you follow the formula I gave you, study like 2 hours, half hour here, half hour there, then you all get here. By the way, if you all want to do a group study, let me know. I'll provide you the link. I'll give you the access to WebEx so that you all could connect and have a group study. Okay. The more you guys do it, the easier it gets, and if you help each other out, that's how the best way you're gonna learn.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah, just put it in a group chat. Hey, I'm available. Somebody's there, or at least if you get two people together, then it's a win-win situation for everybody. And if you get stuck, by the way, if you get stuck in the middle of a night and you're practicing it, put it in a group chat, okay? Somebody will answer you, not right away, maybe a little later, but make sure you use the group chat and before asking anybody or putting in Google. Okay, for now, don't use Google until we're done with the basic commands, because it may confuse you how with the flow of the class. But after once the basic commands are over, then you could put in Google and get your own help. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So now, how much time we got? We got 24 good minutes here. So now these two dots, what it does is design is it will throw me into the red directory. Previous working directory is red hat here. Okay. So if I type only two dots, cd dot dot, and I hit enter, and I'm look at there. If I type pwd, it throws me into the previous working directory. Okay. So what is this gonna do? Where is this gonna throw me?
In the previous one.
Which one? Which one would that be?
CentOS.
Yes. Very good. You will go back to the previous working directory. Okay. And there is some confusion here. Previous working. Now let's change this here. It puts you back into the uh, previous working directory. Okay, this makes sense here. Two period means uh, it will it will make you go into the one directory up. Okay, so it will take you to the parent directory. Okay, parent directory means going one level up. So if I hit enter, you went into the previous working directory. Now if I type cd dot dot, it takes me one level up. If I simply type cd, it will discard everything and it will throw me into my working directory, which will be root. Okay, so now let's do this here.
How come when you did CD dot dot, it didn't take you to Linux? It took you to Red Hat.
Now here I changed it. I came back into CentOS again.
Oh,
Now what it will do is if I type cd dot dot, then it will take me to Linux 1. Okay, PWD.
okay. I see.
Now if I type cd dot dot again, it will take me to root, PWD. And if I type cd dot dot, it will take me to slash root. And if I type more, there is nothing more beyond that. That's the end of it. This is where the operating system starts, okay? So okay, so two period means parent directory going one level up, hidden. Okay, so this is a hidden file here. So what I did here is if I type cd dot dot and if I did let's do this pdw takes you to the going one level up. Okay, and you are in Red Hat here. Okay, now if you keep doing that, you keep going back to Linux, and then these are the examples here. I'm going to put it separately. So this is going one level up too. So now we are in Red Hat, right? Here, then you are in Linux. And you all guys got an idea here what I'm talking about. So now it will take you one level up here. Okay, so you got the idea. You could play this game all day long here. So let me clear this. So now what I'm going to do is let me type cd here and hit enter. Now what I want to do is change the directories here. So if I want to do cd, then I could do Linux 1, then I do Red Hat, then CentOS. Okay? You could do that, go back, or you could do this and then type in the whole directory from here, starting from root, this here. So what is this called? This is called absolute path. I don't want to, well, I'll talk about this a little later here. So let me clear this. Let me go back to the directory here. In this directory, now what I could do is I could also do cd dot dot slash, I type another dot dot here because every directory has two dots in it and a single dot and a two dot. So which directory I am in now? If I hit enter now, which directory I will be in?
Directory.
I'm sorry, what?
Red Hat.
Where am I right now?
I think it will take you back to Linux 1.
Yeah, it will get you Linux 1. So because this is one dot and this is what it's representing, it's going to go here.
So it's going back 2 steps pretty much.
Yeah, it's going back 2 steps. So don't count the first, this one here, because you're already in there. Step
Okay.
1 and step 2. And if you even want to go through a step 3, you just type this here. Another 3 dots. Let's do 2 dots here first. So if you hit enter, you do pwd and you are into Linux 1 here. Okay, so now you get the idea. You could go if you could go 2 level, 3 level, 10 levels up. The maximum you're gonna get a brick wall is once you hit this root here, and that's it. You're not gonna go any further. Okay? So okay, so let's see here. Let's go back here to our directory pwd, then type cd slash 2 dots 2 dots. Now if I do a tab, it will actually tell you which directory you're going to get thrown into. Oh no, maybe it doesn't. I'll explain you what just happened a little later. So what this will do is this will bring you back to the root directory. Okay, if you do pwd, you're into root directory. Okay, so far it looks good. Puts you back into the previous directory. Okay, good. So now I'm going to talk about paths. There are two kind of path here, right? So let's install a little package here so that we could get to see what this tree looks like. Okay, what is actually this directory structure looks like. Everybody type yum install. Hold on, which tree? So it's not there. Type yum install tree, TREE -y, and hit enter. It's going to install a little tree command from the internet. Okay, let me know when it's done.
Mine's is done.
Done.
Okay, good.
And here.
Okay, good. So if you type tree here and hit enter, now you could see this, how this is showing here. Is it showing some files here? But if you show the folders, you see a Linux one, and you see a Red Hat in it, and you see a CentOS inside it. Okay, so this one is only good for visualizing visualizing the structure here. So if I type only tree and a Linux one here, it should just give you that part of information. Okay. So So now if you could type tree or tree, so if you type tree, it's going to go from, what is a single dot? What does a single dot means?
Present working.
Yeah, present working directory. Very good. So it found other directories too, but it got nothing in it. So it's not going to, it's actually scans through the present working directory going forward. Okay, it starts from here, it find file 1, these are the files, and then it find folders, and then inside that folder it got like 2 folders inside each other. So that's what it found for you. Okay, this is what this tree command is good for.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So every time we're in the command line interface, do we have to run the yum install for the tree structure to come up, or like it comes up automatically?
No, we downloaded it once. Once the download is complete, then you just type tree. There is no other
Okay.
command.
So you have to do the yum install first, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You did that already, or you're behind?
No, I did it already. I was just asking to make sure that we have to do that beforehand.
Yeah. Sometimes this command is not installed.
Okay.
So it doesn't come with the operating system. So I kind of found it easier so that you could see a graphical output, how this is structured.
Yeah, I like the way this explains it. It makes it much
Yeah.
easier to understand.
So yeah, that's what I should have asked you to do it before I started the directories here. But now you get it. So this is Linux. Inside a Linux is Red Hat. Inside Red Hat is CentOS.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes. So we still got some time here. So let's talk about the absolute path. So whatever we are doing this here, if I go to cd here pwd, this is present working directory. Okay, it also tells you this here, but where is this present working directory is inside this root slash then root slash Linux. So this path that starts with slash root, not slash root, but any path that starts with the beginning of slash, it's called absolute path because it's starting from the beginning. Yeah, go ahead. You got a question? This is the absolute path because starts from the slash.
I have a question.
I'm sorry?
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you type in CD and change directory and go back to show the other directories like Linux, Red Hat, CentOS, why is it that it doesn't show up sometimes? Because right now when I click CD and I enter it, it just shows slash root. It doesn't show any of my other stuff.
Yeah, but did you type hyphen?
Yeah, I did put the hyphen in.
It may not work. It may not be same exact thing here because I was going so fast here.
Okay.
So whatever your previous working directory was is gonna go there because previous working directory might not have been the what was mine. I just did it on the fly because I remembered I was in CentOS directory.
Okay.
So go ahead and go in there manually and then go back to root and then do cd hyphen, then it will throw you back where it's supposed to be.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So this is a absolute path, starts with a slash. Starts with a slash or root. Okay, you could use this in a multiple ways. Okay, now what I could do is I could just go cd slash here. But I want to use the absolute path to go into the Red Hat directory. All you have to do is type cd, then root, and then type Linux 1, and then type Red Hat, and hit enter. So the moment I'm trying to use the path with the slash here, this is considered using a absolute path. Okay, so if I to push minus here, I was in root directory. So it will show you that. cd hyphen, I'm sorry. Yeah. So moving using the absolute path. Okay, and then another concept is called relative path. So the relative path is, say if you're already here, right? And if you want to go into the directory Red Hat, so what do you type is, you type cd, type Linux 1, and then you type Red Hat. Now you see relative path is good only moving forward. Okay? If you are moving forward, you use the relative path. So takes you this works only down the directory structure, okay? And you see it's in here. What will happen if you put a little path in here, because it's not the same thing? It will give you an error message. It doesn't exist, because what you're telling is to go start from the start line, which is here, root. So okay, so if I type this here, okay, so we got an absolute path and relative path, and you could use it to change the directories, okay? Do I need to add anything else? We are done for today. Okay. So you will get to use the paths, relative path and all that. The more you do it, you'll get it. Okay, so I think I will stop here. Next we'll pick it up where we just left off here from. Okay, so please use the chat if you have any questions, if you need help. I want you all to help each other, and that's how you're gonna learn. Once you put something in the chat here, nobody's answering, then I will answer. Okay, so you have so many resources here. You have a chat, you have a document, okay, and you have a video, and you could use Google later on, and then you have each other to help each other out. So please use all these resources. It's going to be good only for your own benefit. Okay, with that note, I'm going to close this, and we'll catch up next week. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Zafar.
Thank you.
You all have a good weekend.
Have a good one.
Stay safe and
Thank
healthy.
you. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one. Thank you.
Do we type init 6 to close out of it, or just
Init 6 reboots it. Init 0, it
Init
shuts it
0.
down. Yeah.
okay? Init 0. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.